G'day my friends, Marty here from www.pottedvegetablegarden.com. Thanks for coming to check out this video, starting a potted vegetable garden. Now what I've done is I've created a board in Pinterest and I've started putting down all the information in there. And I want to discuss along the way about how you can get your potted vegetable garden started and be successful and grow lots of herbs, fruits and flowers, etc. So we're going to go to the first container here. Now many of you would know this as a strawberry pot or a strawberry container, but you don't have to just grow strawberries in them, and they're fantastic for small space gardens. I really like this one because they've picked quite a large pot and they've put another tray along the bottom here, which a lot of people forget to do. So you know, they have a drainage hole at the bottom and that water comes through and seeps through and you lose all that water, and also it can stain any concrete and things that you have down below. They've planted some thyme and some oregano and some different herbs in here, so it looks really nice. And you know, like if you find out what your companions are as well, you can plant your companions in your strawberry pots and even benefit that way. And you can move them around. Like another trick is to actually put them on some wheels underneath the container there, and wheel them around to the spots that you want to keep them, because they do get quite heavy and they are ceramic. And they need a little bit of tender loving care as well. So let's move on to the next photo, shall we? Alright, so I want to discuss about smart pots, or they call them smart pots here, and I just call them basically cloth bags. But you know, I'm not into them so much because they don't look so great, but they do work really well for growing potatoes, sweet potatoes, etc. And also, you know, you can clean them really easily. You can roll them up if you're on the move, etc. And they've also, a lot of them have got handles so you can pick them up and move them around. So you know, they do serve the purpose. So you can go and check them out in most local nurseries and have a look, and they've got them in all different types of sizes. So if you want to start a small veggie patch, you can actually buy a big massive bag and do like a mass planting in together. So let's move on to the next photo, shall we? Here you can see we've got ceramic containers. Here they've been made out of clay and they look really pretty in the colour schemes together. You know, and if you match up the colour schemes such as they have, yeah, they can look really attractive. One thing I've noticed here though is they don't have trays underneath, so that will come through and stain the timber. I'd say that's just been put there for the photo. But they do look great, and you know, you can see that they've been sealed as well with the coloured paint, so that will stop a lot of the evaporation, because ceramic containers evaporate really easily. So you would need to use that mix, the gel in there that holds the water crystals, and yeah, it stops them from drying out as quick. And they're a beautiful container. Again, they are a bit heavy to lug around, so just be aware when you're purchasing. Okay, let's move on to the next photo. Here I want to talk about the soil mix. Now, if you go across to my pin board there in Pinterest, you'll get the link back to that mix that I found online for making up your own potting mix. But I just recommend that you buy a high grade quality potting mix and check the label for the type of plants that you want to grow. And if you're after organic, make sure that it's certified, because they can say that it's organic just because it's dirt. In Australia they get away with that at the moment, so I check for certified organic labels if I'm looking for an organic medium. So let's move across to the next last not least photo, I shouldn't say least, the last photo. And here you can see some galvanized containers here. Now you can use these in a few different ways. You can fill them up with potting mix. I wouldn't use soil because it compacts down too much. You want to use a good quality potting mix, and you can buy bulk potting mix from most landscaping retailers. So you go there and buy a few big bags or a few big bins or a small trailer load and fill it up that way. Or you can put nice big pots inside these and have the galvanized around the outside just as the look and feel. Be aware that if they get kicked or bumped, it can cave in, and you will need to have some panel beating skills. They look quite good, but you would have to drill a lot of drainage holes in the bottom as well for it to drain away freely. And be aware that that also, you know, the soil can stain the concrete down below. So in this garden such as this, you would have that pathway running off from the left to the right, so that's running off down somewhere. And you know, depending on what you want to grow in here is really the issue of what you're going to put in here. You can see there's some tomatoes and some basil and some roses and things growing up the back here. So another great idea to implement into your potted vegetable garden. If you want to learn more about creating and starting a potted vegetable garden, I suggest you go to www.pottedvegetablegarden.com. I've got some cool ebooks in there for sale, and there's hundreds of pages of free content as well to get you going, and you'll definitely love it over there. Alright, well, have a great day and happy gardening, and we'll see you at the next video soon. Bye for now. The link's down below if you want to go across to the website. Happy gardening.